Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio. With me today is Jiunn and John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
That's right. So today we are talking about the Aurora 115th Anniversary Regular Production Robusto. It is Robusto 5x50, comes out of the La Aurora factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrappers from Ecuador, binders from Brazil, filler is from Nicaragua, the Dominican Republic, and Brazil. Blended by Manuel and Noah. Price point is $9.50, and the cigar was released in June of 2019. So with all that out of the way, Jiunn, what was your overall experience like?
Um, so this cigar, we were talking about this right before we started airing this, but I've never had a cigar which I first lit it up. I'm like, damn, this is pretty good. I think I'm going to be in for a pretty good little ride. Um, so like a lot of like a La Roy stuff, I'm used to like the cheaper stuff that has like more of a humble band, simple band, but for the price, amazing, right? So I thought based upon the first couple of draws, it's like, damn, this is a lot more concentrated than what I'm used to, and I think it's gonna just be really solid. But I never had a cigar that turned out that began so well, and it turned to absolute shit after a while. So this was unfortunately one of those. When it first started, man, there was this like super nice, like dominant natural sweetness. Got a lot of bread, yeasty notes, like really sweet, creamy nuttiness. Also very earth forward. So within all that sweetness, it did a really good job of like balancing it with some like cedar, some like dry dirt soil kind of a component to it. Really good. But past that mark, man, it just went. I mean, it's a how do I describe this? Usually within a cigar, like it starts out the first third, and then like as a cigar, let's say, just progresses from the first few draws, like you kind of know it's either gonna go up, or it's just kind of go up a little bit, and it's kind of takes a dump at the last third because you kind of taste some of the youngness out of it for these cigars, especially. But with this cigar, I felt like some parts of it, some draws, I was like, this is good. And some other draws, like, man, why is it so harsh all of a sudden? And then all of a sudden, it'll revert back to like, I see some of the better qualities again. So, perhaps with that said, I could say that it gets like a F minus for consistency. And it was just not. It was just overall average. I really wish that it was stay within that first few draws that I had. For like $10, I don't know. You can find better for cheaper from La Aurora.
How about you, John?
I'm with June. I'm not sure what happened, and I actually said in the green room that by the time I got to the halfway point, I picked up the cigar and looked at it because I was like, what happened? It just took such a sharp left turn, and then by the last third, it was just not even like it was a completely different cigar by the last third. So I don't know if this is indicated that this cigar needs to sit down for a little bit longer, or if there's something else going on, but what this cigar started out as in the first third was a complete opposite of where it ended up with the last third. The nuanced, subtle, sort of earthy, bready, cream sweet component of the first third ended up being harsh, bitter, loamy. So I don't know how it went from that to the last third. Very disappointing, obviously. I rated it overall as average, but like June said, it's really tough when you start out that good. It kind of sets you up for expecting that for the rest of the cigar. And I've certainly had plenty of La Auroras that I really, really enjoy, and I thought this was going to be another one of them, but it just wasn't. I kind of said in my summary statement, like, I don't know what the blend intention was, but I don't know how you smoke this and go where it ended up was where I wanted it to really end up at the end of the day, because I just can't see you wanting to go with that desserty flavor in the first third and then heavy earth in the last third, because those two flavor profiles are just opposite ends for me. Aaron, what was your overall flavor experience like?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started out with slightly young and spicy cedar, along with a little bit of mustiness. As it progressed, the cedar took on an aged character and a vegetal note joined in. As the cigar continued on, a little bit of those vegetal notes were present at times, and the profile alternated the mustiness and the cedar up front as some char was later present. Cigar was fairly average for me, not quite what I was expecting from an anniversary offering. The price is fairly standard. I mean, Aurora tends to keep it on the lower end for most of their lines, but it still wasn't great for the experience that I had. I'm almost interested in revisiting it just to kind of see if it's what I had was actually the intention, but since you guys all had similar experiences, I mean, it seems to be that's what the cigar is. But I'd also have interest in trying the limited edition version of this to see if it's that much better than the regular production version of it.
What is that? Some like more expensive?
Yeah, I mean, they came out with two versions, the limited edition and the regular production version for the anniversary. I'm not sure what the actual differences are. I don't have the details of what the limited edition is, but I know that there is a distinct difference between, for them, from the branding.
Huh.
So, I mean, as it sits now, other than a curiosity, it's probably not something I'm going to go back to. So it's just, I guess that's the way it is. So we all have kind of fairly similar experiences, I think. So getting into the scores, start at the top with you, Jiunn, at 5.90. John was next at 5.65, and I gave it a 5.05. So Jiunn, 5.90.
I'm highest at 5.90.
Yeah.
Oh shit. It's overall average tasting experience, pretty good construction. But even with that said, I mean, I'm a little disappointed. I expect better out of La Aurora. So,
all right, John, 5.65. Oh, you're muted.
I feel like I'm a broken record this year. The flavor experience is in the low fives, and the construction is what elevates it to a 5.65. And I'm with Jiunn. I mean, I don't want to bag on La Aurora, but I expect better. Especially, like I said, you start out the first third that good. You're like, okay, man, this is going to be another great La Aurora cigar. And then you end up where you end up, and you're like, it's like a car accident. Like, I just don't know what happened. I would actually like to go back to this cigar in a year's time to see if it's just an issue of maybe this needs to sit down and marry a little bit more, because I just can't believe that this is what they intended the flavor profile to be. It just doesn't seem right to me. Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, my score matches. I mean, it's a slightly below average flavor profile. Construction was okay. I had a few issues with the burn, and the draw was a little snug, but it kind of knocks it down a little bit more, but still kind of just creeps above that 5 mark. But yeah, I mean, what Jiunn was saying, like, on the time capsule series, it's such a good price point, and it over delivers in flavor. And then you get a cigar that's like this, that's an anniversary cigar, and you're smoking it, and you're like, now you're under delivering at 950. Like, and 950 is not a high price point now. So it's just like, I don't know. It's a bit of a riddle. So
I seriously thought I smoked this yesterday for review, and I was like, fuck, is my palate off? I was like, this is the only sample I have. Too bad. This is going to be the written one.
Yeah.
But it's actually good to know that my palate wasn't exactly off. You guys have very similar experience. So.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have had relight issues, I would have blamed it on the burn. I would have said, well, the relight issue is giving it that char. But like, it's a typical La Aurora where the construction was perfect. So, I can't blame the burn and say it was a burn issue.
Yeah.
This is what it tasted like. So yeah, I was just very surprised.
Yeah.
All right, if you're just catching the video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But also check out the full review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on the social media channels and catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.